There are moments in history when something surfaces that defies explanation. An object, an idea, a creation so advanced that it feels misplaced, as if it had been left behind by an intelligence beyond its time. Imagine a machine, constructed over 2,000 years ago, capable of tracking celestial movements, predicting eclipses, and measuring the dance of the heavens with mathematical precision. A device so intricate, so sophisticated, that modern scientists have only just begun to understand its full potential. This is no legend, no mere relic of an ancient civilization. It is real, and it was discovered beneath the waves, hidden within the ruins of a forgotten shipwreck. The Antikythera mechanism, a name whispered among scholars, engineers, and seekers of hidden knowledge. But what if this machine is more than just an artifact? What if its very existence challenges everything we thought we knew about the technological prowess of the ancient world? Tonight, we unveil the forbidden history of the Antikythera mechanism, the machine that was 2,000 years ahead of its time. Was it the work of an unsung genius, or does it hint at an even deeper mystery? The story begins with a shipwreck lost to the abyss of time. For nearly 2 millennia, it rested in silence beneath the Mediterranean Sea, guarding its secret. But in the year 1900, fate intervened. A group of Greek sponge divers stumbled upon its remains near the island of Antikythera. Among the treasures of gold, statues, and forgotten relics, there was something unexpected, a lump of corroded bronze, dismissed at first as nothing more than a worthless fragment. But hidden within the rusted metal were gears, tiny, delicate cogs with inscriptions that defied the known limits of ancient craftsmanship. As archaeologists and scientists pieced together the remains, they realized they were looking at something impossible, something that should not have existed. What was this machine, and why was it lost to time? More importantly, who created it? The answers, like the device itself, are shrouded in mystery. Some say it was the lost work of Archimedes, the greatest mind of the ancient world. Others believe it was built by an unknown lineage of scholars who possessed knowledge far beyond their era. And there are those who whisper of even stranger origins, of lost civilizations, forgotten wisdom, or something even more unexplainable. As we delve deeper into its story, prepare to question everything you thought you knew about history, technology, and the limits of human ingenuity. For the Antikythera mechanism is not just an artifact. It is a message from the past, a past that may be far more advanced than we have ever dared to imagine. To understand the significance of the Antikythera mechanism, we must journey back to a time when knowledge itself was sacred. The ancient Greeks were not mere philosophers, nor were they simply warriors. They were seekers, obsessed with the cosmos, with mathematics, with the very nature of existence. Their greatest minds believed that the universe was not chaotic, but governed by precise, divine mechanics. They studied the stars not just for navigation, but to understand time itself, to predict celestial cycles, to decode the will of the gods. They mapped the heavens with an obsessive precision that modern astronomers still marvel at today. And in this pursuit, they built devices to translate the celestial dance into something tangible, something they could hold in their hands. Was the Antikythera mechanism one of these devices, or was it something even greater? Some historians believe the Antikythera mechanism was crafted in the city of Rhodes, home to one of the most advanced schools of astronomy and engineering in the ancient world. Others trace its origins to Syracuse, where Archimedes himself once devised machines so advanced that they could repel entire armies. But here lies the paradox. While ancient Greek texts described complex devices capable of measuring planetary movements, none had ever been found. Scholars assumed these descriptions were poetic exaggerations, the fantasies of an intellectual elite. Until, of course, the rusted gears of the Antikythera mechanism emerged from the ocean's depths, proving that the ancients had indeed harnessed technology we thought belonged only to the modern world. But if such knowledge existed, why was it lost? The destruction of the Library of Alexandria stands as one of the greatest tragedies of human history. Within its halls, it is said, were texts describing lost sciences, forgotten engineering, and knowledge so advanced that it could have changed the course of civilization. Was the Antikythera mechanism one of the last remnants of this lost knowledge? A whisper from a world that was systematically erased. For history does not simply forget. It is rewritten. And those who hold power often decide which knowledge survives, and which is buried beneath the sands of time. But what if the Antikythera mechanism is not merely an artifact, but a clue, a fragment of something even greater, a technology that, if fully understood, could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the ancient world? For centuries, the Antikythera mechanism remained nothing more than a corroded lump of metal, its secrets locked away beneath layers of rust. But as researchers began to study its intricate gears, a shocking revelation unfolded. This was no simple navigational tool. It was a machine of staggering complexity, unlike anything known from the ancient world. With over 30 precision-cut bronze gears, each meticulously designed to interlock with another, the device was able to track the movements of the sun, moon, and planets with astonishing accuracy. It even predicted eclipses and lunar phases, displaying celestial cycles in a way that modern scientists did not believe possible for its time. But how did the ancient Greeks create such an advanced mechanism over 2,000 years ago? Imagine the level of precision required to craft something like this without modern machinery. Each gear had to be cut, shaped, and aligned with microscopic precision, a feat that should have been beyond the capabilities of ancient metallurgy. And yet, the craftsmanship suggests that this was not the first of its kind. The complexity of its design hints at a long tradition of advanced mechanical engineering, now lost to history. Could there have been other machines like it, perhaps even more sophisticated ones, that were destroyed, hidden, or simply never discovered? As researchers reconstructed the mechanism, another mystery emerged: ancient inscriptions carved into its plates. These texts, painstakingly translated, revealed detailed instructions on how to use the device. They spoke of planetary movements, eclipse predictions, and even the timing of the Olympic Games, suggesting that this machine was not only a tool for scholars, but an integral part of Greek society. Some theorists suggest it was a teaching device, a portable model of the heavens designed to educate philosophers and astronomers. Others speculate that it may have served a ritualistic purpose, aligning human activities with the divine movements of the cosmos. But perhaps the most unsettling question of all is this: if such knowledge existed in ancient Greece, where did it come from? Some believe that the origins of the Antikythera mechanism stretch beyond Greece, perhaps even further back in time. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, the lost knowledge of Atlantis. Countless civilizations studied the heavens, developing intricate systems to track celestial cycles. Could the Greeks have inherited this knowledge from an older, forgotten civilization? A lineage of scientists and mystics whose wisdom was erased, leaving only fragments like the Antikythera mechanism as proof of their existence. Or was this device a singular anomaly, an invention so ahead of its time that it vanished into obscurity, only to be rediscovered thousands of years later? The story of the Antikythera mechanism is not just one of brilliance, but also of tragedy. It was discovered not in a temple or a scholar's library, but at the bottom of the sea, buried beneath the wreckage of a ship lost to time. What else was aboard that doomed vessel? What knowledge was erased when the waves claimed it? When sponge divers first stumbled upon the shipwreck in 1901, they had no idea they had uncovered one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. Among the statues and relics was a small, unassuming lump of corroded bronze. For decades, scholars dismissed it as nothing more than debris. No one suspected that inside that corroded shell lay the shattered remains of a machine so advanced, it would take over a century for modern science to fully understand its function. But who built it? Some believe the device was the work of Hipparchus, one of the greatest Greek astronomers. His revolutionary ideas on planetary motion align perfectly with the calculations found in the mechanism. Others suggest it was created in the legendary workshop of Archimedes, the genius of Syracuse, whose inventions were centuries ahead of their time. Could this be one of his lost designs? Or was it part of an even greater tradition, a lineage of lost knowledge that predates even the Greeks? History is filled with destruction. The Library of Alexandria, a repository of untold wisdom, was burned, its secrets lost forever. The countless inventions and discoveries of ancient civilizations were forgotten, buried beneath the sands of time. How many other machines like the Antikythera mechanism once existed, only to be lost to war, disaster, or the deliberate erasure of knowledge? Today, thanks to advanced imaging technology, we are finally beginning to grasp the full complexity of the Antikythera mechanism. It was not just a clock or a calculator. It was a mechanical cosmos, a working model of the heavens crafted with unimaginable precision. But if such technology existed 2,000 years ago, what does that mean for our understanding of history? Were the ancients more advanced than we ever believed? Or are we simply uncovering the remnants of something far older than recorded history, a lost scientific tradition that predates civilization itself? The Antikythera mechanism was not just a machine, it was a philosophical statement. It embodied a truth known to the ancients but often forgotten today. The universe is not chaos. It is a system, an intricate design governed by patterns, cycles, and intelligence. If we could decode the mathematical order of the cosmos, we could predict the movements of the heavens, and perhaps even the fate of civilizations. To the Greeks, understanding the stars was not just an academic pursuit, it was a way to align with the divine order. The movement of celestial bodies was seen as a reflection of the rhythms of life itself. They believed that by observing the heavens, one could make sense of personal and societal patterns, uncovering hidden truths about destiny, time, and even human consciousness. What if we could do the same? Today, we often separate science from spirituality. We view technology as cold and mechanical, while wisdom is seen as something mystical and intangible. But the Antikythera mechanism reminds us of a different way of thinking, one where knowledge was unified. What if we approached modern science not as something detached from ancient wisdom, but as its continuation? The ancients lived in harmony with cosmic cycles. They planted their crops, conducted their rituals, and made their decisions based on the alignment of the stars and planets. Could we reclaim that wisdom? Here are 3 practical ways to apply this lost knowledge in our modern lives. Observe natural cycles. Track the phases of the moon and planetary movements. Notice how they influence your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Align with the cosmos. Try meditating during significant astronomical events, such as solstices, equinoxes, or planetary alignments. Bridge science and spirituality. Study ancient cosmology alongside modern physics. The deeper you go, the more you may realize that the ancients knew far more than we ever gave them credit for. Perhaps the greatest lesson of the Antikythera mechanism is this: the universe is a machine, and we are all part of its intricate design. But how much of that design do we truly understand? And how much has been hidden from us, waiting to be rediscovered? What else lies hidden in the forgotten pages of history? The Antikythera mechanism was a whisper from the past, a glimpse of a world more advanced than we ever imagined. If one machine could defy our expectations of ancient knowledge, what else has been lost? We like to think of history as linear progress, that we are always moving forward, always improving. But the existence of the Antikythera mechanism forces us to ask, have we truly advanced, or have we merely forgotten? The Greeks were not alone in their wisdom. Across the world, there are mysteries waiting to be unearthed, evidence of knowledge so profound, It threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history. The truth is never lost. It is merely waiting for those with the eyes to see and the will to seek it. We have always been drawn to the stars. Perhaps just like the builders of the Antikythera mechanism, we too are meant to decode the mysteries of the cosmos and rediscover the forgotten knowledge of our ancestors. The machine still ticks. The question is, are we listening?